One question most people have when it comes to making spelt pasta is this: will my pasta be tender? And while this is a great question and a legitimate concern, let me quickly set your mind at ease. Now, I am Amy from A Red Spatula, and I'm here today not only to teach you how to make really tender spelt pasta, but also to teach you how much healthier it is, of course, as opposed to pasta that is made from refined flours like all-purpose flour or 00 flour. Now, before we get into the pasta making part of this, let me just remind you to subscribe to my channel. You do not want to miss any of the new videos that are coming out. And also, of course, if you have questions or comments, drop those in the comment section below and I will gladly reply. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first let's start with the flour. I want to talk about this before we ever get into how to make this. Spelt flour is a really cool ancient grain flour that has so many health benefits. You can use a blend of all-purpose and spelt flour if you'd like. I think this is a really great place to start, especially if you are new to whole grain pasta making. I'll include notes if you want to make it 100% or if you want to use the blend. I'm going to show you today how to do a blend. This is just for beginners, I guess, or anybody who's new to making whole grain pastas. Now, making spelt pasta is just like most other homemade egg-based, or not egg-based, egg pastas. What we're going to do is we're going to start by mixing together our flours. I'm using a spelt flour, an all-purpose flour, and then adding in the salt, of course. We're going to mix this together until it's mixed really well. Now, some people like to sift their wheat flour for a smoother dough. I do not like to do this. I think it takes out the bran, and when I'm using a whole grain flour, I want to use the whole grain. So I don't mind just a little bit of texture in mine. Now, once you get these mixed together, you're going to want to form a well in the center. I recently took a class in Rome, and what they said is you want to make it look like the Colosseum. Okay, as I noted, this is an egg-rich pasta, so what we're going to do once we have our well created is we're going to add in eggs, olive oil, and water into the center. We're going to start by mixing our eggs together. You want to make sure these are mixed really well before we ever start incorporating the flour. And then with your fork, what you're going to do is you're going to start on the inside of your well, and you're going to start pulling in flour just a little bit at a time. As you bring that flour in, you're going to mix it really well into the eggs. And then once it's mixed in really well, you're going to mix in a little bit more. Now this is going to take a little bit of time. Don't rush this process. Pasta making isn't hard to do, but it certainly is a little bit time consuming. Once all the flour is incorporated, you're going to notice that it looks like a really big, shaggy mess. And it does. Don't stress about this. We're going to put away our fork now, and we're going to just use our hands, and we're going to start kneading the dough. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to knead this for about a minute. Once it's been kneaded for a minute, we're going to cover this. We're going to let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. This is a short hydration period, but what it does is it hydrates your flours. It allows the dough to rest, and it makes it so much easier to work with. And then once it's sat, we're going to uncover it again, and we're going to start kneading again. Now at this point, it's going to take anywhere in between 5 to 8 minutes. This will just depend on your kneading technique, how quickly you knead, all of those things. Now my technique looks like this. I push the dough out against the surface and pull it back. Rotate the dough and do the same process again. This is repeated over and over again. Once you get a little more familiar with this, it's going to be rhythmic, it's going to be kind of soothing. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to knead this until your dough is smooth. At this point, the pasta dough is done, and all it needs to do is rest for just a little bit before you form it.